All right, let's hop into it, huh? Trying out some blue-white tempered steel. Trying out a few new cards in here today. We've got Mouser and Esper Sentinel here at the bottom end of the curve. We've got Nettlecyst as well as Thought Monitor towards the top end. We've got a couple of Ingenious Smiths in here to impulse through and find our higher impact artifacts more consistently. And I've got a couple of treasure vaults in the mana base because we've got Thought Monitor, which has affinity for artifacts. This being an artifact land also lets Ingenious Smith help us hit land drops on occasion. So I'm interested to see if, one, how expensive this card is going to be on average for us. We do have 16 1-drops plus Servo Exhibition and the creature land here to help drag the cost on this down a little bit. But, you know, if this ends up being 4, 5, or 6, it's really not a good rate. But if we can get it, you know, into the 2 to 4 range, I think this will be somewhat reasonable. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this. I do think this aggressively slanted deck that has access to things like Miscast and Containment Priest out of the sideboard does have potential to be okay into some of the Jeskai stuff going around, so we'll see if that works out to be the case in practice like it looks in theory. Thanks for the 2.5 years, Drax. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Spiral, thanks for the 10 months. Good morning, good morning. Hey, that looks good. Wheel? This is down to 4. Nettlecyst will be a pretty thick boy here. The question, I guess, is do I want to Nettlecyst or do I want a Tempered Steel? If I Tempered Steel here, both of these are 3/3. So if I Nettlecyst, this will be a 4/4, but the problem with that is I only have one creature that can block this, so I'll just be able to attack and flashback Fatal Push. So I think I'm actually supposed to Tempered Steel here, so that way I have 2 things that can threaten to block the Arcanist. Glitch! I came to this stream to learn MTG, and I learned I can't afford Magic, but I can't afford this. Well, thanks for the entire year. I appreciate you keeping me around. So the fact that they didn't attack with this implies that they don't have another removal spell, right? So they're just like throwing this away to kill a 3/3. Seems loose. I guess it gives them a Delirium card. Still seems loose. The fact that this counts artifacts and enchantments, so like this gets technically 1/1 bigger from Tempered Steel is nice. Attack with this Dorko. Get our pressure going. Tawazerg, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Shout out to YouTube for helping me figure out how to resub on Twitch using my mobile phone with the Prime subscription. Thank you. Thank you for the Prime. I appreciate you keeping me around. Hey, Grinny, thanks for the 13 months. Zero, thanks for the sub gifty. All right, we have a race, fam. All right, so this currently costs 4. Which means if I go play this will cost 2. Urza. That's pretty sweet. Bounce. Our opponent's trying to mid-range in our aggro combo format. We're an okay aggro deck there. I probably want some Deccan Stones here. Question is how many? Just a couple's probably fine. Seal Overseer probably just dies a lot. I think these are all probably better payoffs for this matchup. They have a lot of spot removal that just like trade up on tempo too, right? Like they trade Fatal Push or Unholy Heat for Overseer, and we're like not super happy with that exchange. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Morning distraction. Yeah, magma spray postboard too. It's a lot of stuff. These are my servo friends. Double Thought Monitor. It's likely pretty good in this matchup. They're kind of grindy, so having our grindy card here sounds appealing. This is a matchup where we could realistically afford to pay more mana for these. So we'll grab Gingerbrute here. This puts a counter on Smith, and then we'll pass. Then if they, assuming they don't kill any of our artifacts, we have Thought Monitor next turn. That's a big assumption. Nice Inquisition. I don't think Blackstaff is better than any of the artifact payoffs I'm currently playing. I also think Blackstaff on average tends to be worse than the 1/3 for 3 that makes something a 5/5. Because Blackstaff notably requires that you what's the word for Blackstaff notably requires that you pay double blue the turn you play it to activate it, which double blue can be tough on the mana base. Yikes. And unfortunately can't block here. They're playing these Civilization games. Nah, I'm not a big RTS guy. And I don't think it's worth shocking myself to deal 1 to them. So I'm just going to put that into play. Tapped. Attack for 2. Blackstaff's a better option into control. I mean, Thought Monitor is a better option than Blackstaff into control, I think. Also, like, the premier control deck in this format right now is Combo Control, which also changes that dynamic a bit. Is an important consideration. Oh, Civ's a turn-based strategy game, sure. Definitely just gonna take this trade here. Captain Nemo, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. All right, got a little Mouser here. Got some lifelink ready to go. I'll hold these back for now. They want to fire up this Hive of the Eye Tyrant, we can block with Monitor plus a 1/1. And if they don't fire up the Hive, we're probably just gonna like Shefet Dunes ship next turn. This lets me gain 6. Shefet Dunes, that is a good name for it. So they can fire up the Hive if they want to eat a 2/2, but this is fine because it stops them from using their mana to use Seasoned Pyromancer. They take a solid chunk of damage here. We gain 6. We get to put a counter on a Vault Skirge. And then I'm going to go ahead and shock and play Overseer here. Yeah, there's a lot of good artifact payoffs. I was watching YouTube and thought of something really insightful to say, but I forgot. Can I have a timeout to help remember? Let's go to Druksha. Alright, well. Our bad deck beat their bad deck, chat. We are the kings of the 95%. What's going on, Nugget? Thanks for the follow. The our artifact Muldrifters there felt pretty good into their grindy mid-range deck. Mid-range just is in such a tough spot in this format. There's too many polarized axes you're getting hit from at the moment, I think. Yeah, this is fine. No 1-drop, which is sad in our 16 1-drop deck, but we do have Treasure Vault and Servo to power up into this, which seems decent. Right on time 1-drop. Welcome to the party. We only need single blue. We do need double white for Tempered Steel. We'll lead on Steel Overseer here because we want to put counters on these ASAP. They're a somewhat playable tempo deck in Historic. Merfolk's an okay tempo deck. Mono blue is fine. I don't know if I agree with that assessment. I haven't seen that archetype played in a while, and I'd wager there's a reason for that. Let's go ahead and do this now. Hey, thanks for the 29 months, John. I appreciate the support. The Nettlecyst mirror match. What? Alright, I think we do this, and then we do this. This card's pretty good for 1 mana, chat. Maybe a little above rate. Doing affinity things, you know. Pump up the jam. Our deck seems really good when our opponent's not casting Lightning Helix and Anger of the Gods. I would venture to guess our experience will be worse when our opponent has Lightning Helix and Anger of the Gods, but, you know, so far, so good. You don't have to worry about bad matchups if you just don't play them, chat. Just dodge. It's easy game, easy life. I don't even know, like, what if I just, like, click submit? Like, do I even need spot removal here? I don't really know what they're doing. I'm gonna click submit. I'm just gonna stay on my game 1 plan. I reserve the right to re-sideboard for game 3 if they present some kind of big threat, but when in doubt with a deck like this that has a pretty proactive linear game plan, just like less is more. Yeah, they're definitely some kind of equipment tech. Thanks for the card. Huh? I think we Smith first. I think I actually want to get Mouser down before the other Sentinel because I want to pump up the lifelink here. And then next turn we can do this. Work our way up here towards a solid Shefet Dunes. JK, let's do this one now. And just pump up the lifelink jam. Okay, so we're done here, right? I actually bet Rogues isn't terrible into the current format. Most of the better anti-Jeskai decks are memory lapse decks, and Rogue's definitely a memory lapse deck, right? Like counter spells and pressure are one of the better ways to attack the creativity deck. So I would bet you have an okay time playing Rogues. Detroit Become Human is on my list of things. I actually have that. I think that was free with PS Plus at one point. Is that on my list? It is on my list. I think we're gonna finish Psychonauts today. That one's a longer one, right? What's the playtime start to finish on that? This hand doesn't have any of our powerful payoffs, but it's got just like decent mana and an okay curve, so I'm gonna keep this in the dark. Oh, is that a shorter one? Oh, it's only 10 to 11 hours? What's the gameplay like in that one? Like, what's the combat? Is it a shooter? Is it melee? Tiny Dancer. It's an interactive movie. Oh. Maybe we'll do that next, actually. I think whatever I start after today, I want to finish it. I was thinking about doing, man, Skyclave Apparition is good here. We only have one payoff. I was thinking about doing Assassin's Creed, but I don't really want to start something and then, like, put it on pause while the standard set releases. It's like Until Dawn. I liked Until Dawn. Yikes. Things aren't looking good for our hero, chat. We need another payoff real bad. Yeah, Valhalla's like real long, right? Like 60 to 70 hours long. That's like a Witcher 3 style duration. Well, chat, this is where the magic happens. I think we're just dead at this point. Yeah, I agree. So take my opponent a little bit to close out, but we're done here. Esper Sentinel seems real bad against their Collected Company deck. Oh, just a bunch of Deccan Stones, huh? You did 60 hours only doing major side quests. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably save that one for after standard rotates. Because we'll put variety stuff on a hiatus for a week or so when standard rotates and do a bunch of extra magic. I guess. God, this scene is awkward. Yeah, there's a lot of great looking designs in this set that's coming up. No Containment Priest. Nah, I don't think so. Containment Priest doesn't synergize with the rest of us, and I don't think it's worthwhile to have Containment Priest for just what That's what I'm searching for. Containment Priest for just Collected Company. Okay, so do I hit them with this Blinkmoth this turn, or do I fire up both Blinkmoths to get counters on both? I think we just fire up one because I'm pretty unlikely to have room to attack with both of them. We just hope they don't combo a Collected Company into the combo next turn. So, if they gain any amount of life, we die. And I can't push lethal this turn, right? So the game is over. So I can push for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're dead. And again, like, this is why it's important to look past, just the specific records with decks too, right? Because, like, we're 2-1 with this deck right now, but we beat up 2 off-meta decks, and, like, the first, like, real deck we queued into, it, like, crushed us pretty handily. When you're trying to evaluate your brews, you need to know what your brews do against the established good decks, not what your brews do against other people's brews. Playing brews into brews is fun magic, but it doesn't tell you, like, is this deck competitive in a meaningful way? Good luck, Ghostly Flows. Historics in a... I would say not to discourage you, but to kind of discourage you. I think the Scales deck is in a brutal spot in the format. I think the person that did well with it in the Hoaglandia event was fortunate that was very fortunate that the good deck wasn't popular in our tournament. And there's a reason why they lost in the finals to the good deck. All right, if we can find a third land, this hand is very good. You find the Scurry Twin combo very hard to interact with. Fucking Shock interacts with the Scurry Oak combo. What do you mean it's difficult to interact with? Like if you literally, like, wrote down all of the fucking combos in Historic, the Scurry Oak combo literally gets interacted with the most Magic the Gathering cards in the format. I can't find it difficult to interact with. Come on, think about what you're saying, chat. You might find it difficult to beat, and you might find it has redundancy, but no, the deck that has to have a 1-1 and a 1-2 in play to combo, and then also has to gain a life to combo, has so many interaction points, it's not funny. So stop it, get some help. I mean, I don't think it's accurate to say one removal spell crushes it. But, like, a removal spell interacts with and disrupts it meaningfully. Like, the deck's good because it doesn't just concede to a piece of spot removal, but, like, it's so easy to interact with. And that's one of those things where, like, players are so... Not even players. People are just bad at describing what they're feeling, right? It's like when you see someone say... this game wasn't very interactive or fun, and they got, like, memory lapsed and lightning helix. It's like, no, you got interact with a fuck ton in this game. It just wasn't fun. People think if this thing wasn't fun for me, it wasn't interactive, and that just, like, couldn't be further from the truth, right? All right, I'm going to cut these Esper Sentinels. I'm going to bring in a couple of Aether Gusts and a couple of Deccan Stones. They don't seem to have a lot of non-creatures. I guess they have Moxie Ember. I'm going to leave I'll leave 2. I want to bring in the Aether Gust. I'm going to trim 2. Containment Priest. Why do I want Containment Priest? Do they play anything that Containment Priest impacts? Hey, thanks for the 1.5 years, Johnny. This was my attempt to play... I wanted to play Thought Monitor, because I wanted to see if it felt playable. So we actually really haven't had any historic deck submissions, which doesn't surprise me given the state of the format. Usually that's my #1 sign on the healthful format. If a format's healthy, I'll get some sporadic amount of deck submissions. We don't get as many as we used to because I raised the price, but we usually get at least a couple a week. And it's been basically a big fat 0 since the open. Actual 0? Yeah, I think actual 0. This is a mulligan, right? I just, like, don't have double white. I don't have blue. I don't have a payoff. I have, like, an okay 1-2 curve, but it's just, like, not going to beat them down. This is fine. I think we bottom the Spire here because these cover our colors, and Ingenious Smith can hopefully help us find a payoff. Okay, it's an okay payoff. The opponent took a couple of mulligans. Upside to Treasure Vault, helping this brick. Oh, you know what? I should technically, like, hold these to trigger this potentially down the line, huh? That's my land drops trigger it, which is nice. Cranial plating ++, basically. Comes with a token and gives toughness. Alright, what do we need 5 mana for? Smoot. Yep. I guess we play this out to make the Nettlecyst bigger now. I guess if I attack with this, they just... I guess I'm fine trading for Smoot, actually. Let's put some on a 2-turn clock and get them under the Abyss next turn. The Abyss, for the Magic Zoomers in the audience, is an enchantment that makes your opponent sacrifice a creature. So when you have a lethal threat that they have to keep jump blocking, it's basically like making them sacrifice a creature every turn. Yes, Treasure Vault is the only land that is an artifact in Historic. So that's why I'm playing a couple of those to make our affinity cards cheaper and our Nettlecysts a little bigger. It also, as you saw with that Ingenious Smith, it helps Ingenious Smith pick up land drops and hit more consistently too, which is nice. Yeah, Darksteel Citadel's not legal, right? I feel like we would have played that with Blackstaff and stuff by now. I'm pretty sure that was like an Origins card, right? It's from a set that's too old to be historic currently. It is legal in Pioneer. Yeah, that's accurate. Alright. Servo Exhibition, please. Steel Overseer. Ingenious Smith. How about a Plains? Plains is basically like those cards. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Blinkmoth there, actually. Right on time, Gingerbrute. Welcome to the party. I don't know, Archivist. Those seem like a high-risk inclusion. I think, if anything, I'd prefer the tapped ones, because they're a little bit safer, I think. Are you playing, like, Sultai Ultimatum? It's been a second. You'll never catch him. He's the gingerbread man. Put it out here, living their best life. Yeah, like I said, the two most successful types of decks into creativity are super linear decks and memory lapse decks. So I would expect most successful interactive decks to be featuring 4 memory lapse in this format. It is the best interactive tool in the format, and it is not particularly close. This was their turn 3. They growth spiraled onto. This is like basically their nut draw. We'll see what their follow-up interaction is, but like as far as like best possible starts go, this is definitely their best possible start. I'm gonna kill my Overseer at end of turn here. That's heckin' rude. I'm gonna fire up the Blinkmoth here and then use it to play Thought Monitor, because this lets me steal Overseer, put counters on the Blinkmoth. Memory lamps. Unsubstantiate. For when memory lapsing 4 times isn't enough. And further lighter on black sources. I mean, heavier on blue sources doesn't necessarily mean light on black sources, as you can see from the random base. There's a lot of dual lands in this format. People casting the card Cancel and taking forever to make their decisions on Magic Arena. Name a more iconic duo. Charm is very good. Outside of Sarah's Emissary, it's probably the best card in Historic Horizons. Mycelium Dad, thanks for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Python Project Gamer with the follow. Python's a great programming language. Definitely my poison of choice when working on personal projects. So the Inspector Crab's like situationally powerful. I don't think it's like from a raw individual power level, Crab's just not super high. Got him with the old Mishra's Factory. We're one short of lethal here. We're one short of lethal. And I can't cast this anymore. That's so sad. We're so close to killing them. I can't activate the desert, chat. I'm 1 mana short. If this had been an untapped land that didn't hurt me, shoutouts to the person telling me to make blue mana with the treasure vault. It doesn't do anything. There's no lines with Thought Monitor here that win the game. So like, you're right. I could make blue and cast a Thought Monitor. That doesn't win the game. Okay, we're looking for solutions here. So again, I could animate this. I could put a 6th counter on it. But then this needs 4 more with it. So we're one short. So you need 1 to activate Inkmoth. Inkmoth has to tap to attack, and then you have 3 left over with that. Blinkmoth was 5. Alright. I'm gonna continue timing people out who are asking me why I didn't do the thing that they can't count to. Yeah, the Blinkmoth was only a 6/6 on their turn because it pumped itself temporarily, chat. Stop it. Well, you could sacrifice the vault to make treasure tokens that make mana of any color. For a couple Aether Gusts. I don't think this is a miscast matchup. Maybe it is. Mouser's probably a liability. Giving them a lifelinker seems bad. We're gonna a couple of miscasts and a couple Aether Gusts. You cannot set Prime to auto-renew because Amazon wants to make sure that you're actually watching the channels that you Prime sub to. Doesn't want people setting it and forgetting it that don't actually use the platform. Wizard of Odds and German Chain Whirler, thanks for the follows. Good morning. I'll do this just in case they have a Thought Caesar and Inquisition on one. Unlikely, but can't hurt. Right on time, Gingerbrute. Welcome to the party. With this draw, do I lead on this so I could miscast a removal spell? Eh, probably not. So 23 Munchnookums, welcome back. How's Magic been so far? It's been alright. We haven't played against a single copy of Lightning Helix, so our decks looked okay. So now I think we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this, and we attack for 2. The fact that Steel Overseer doesn't pump the thing that's your Nettlecysting is a little sad. This is a nice draw, because it means that I get to attack Gingerbrute into an Nightpack Ambusher here. To the person asking about how to build sideboards that Neil wrote a pretty decent write-up to, Neil's got good advice there. The best way to approach building sideboards is to think about what matchups you think you'll run into, and then look at your 60-card main deck and go, okay, what cards are bad here that I want to cut? And then make sure you have an equal number of good cards to bring in out of the sideboard that you want to cut. Easiest way to sideboard is to plan ahead. Sure. Well, things Miscast doesn't counter for 100. Can someone else just build your sideboard for you? Yeah, definitely. Net decking's great.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Yeah, Stubborn into Hell would be nice. Maybe I'm supposed to hold Miscast this turn and stuff. Pump up the fam. Nissa down to 1 here. If we can dodge a Ritualist, so we could dodge a ball. I guess Languish is also kind of bad for us. Who knows how many sweepers they play in their Nightpack Ambush or Nissa deck, though. Seeing Nissa who shakes my world makes me think Miscast probably isn't a card that I want. So they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana here if they want it. Extinction Event's not great for us either. I guess this at least leaves us half our stuff. Or one, it leaves us either Overseer or... Okie doke. We're actually still ahead on this board, right? Like, they're attacking us for 3. Blinkmoth kills Nissa. We play Esper Sentinel. We hold Miscast.
Rise, my elemental friend. The land will not forsake you.
Miscast felt better than Spell Pierce. It's much better than Spell Pierce against Jeskai. 2 versus 3 is huge. It's much worse against Nissa. Just gonna go ahead and trade here. They have Castle Mantras, so cutting them off of mana seems fine. Cutting them off of a land also makes Miscast better. I guess taking that block technically makes Thought Monitor worse. Okay. We have 2 3/3s. This becomes a 4/4 when we fire up Blinkmoth, which is nice. This makes this 2 bigger, so I'll do it pre-combat. So we'll be attacking for 10 this turn. More than that, right? I probably don't want to throw Esper Sentinel into the maw of a 4/4 this turn, so let's attack for 11. 5/5 Blinkmoth Nexus is pretty good. Well, a little above average, maybe. Yeah, it could definitely be a Shark Typhoon. It's big true. Oh, man. That bodes well for the home team. Yeah, Miscast seemed pretty bad there. I put some Karns in. Chat, it won't let me put the Miscast down, chat. I don't, chat, it's not letting me unclick the Miscast, chat. That's a new one. All right, well, let's restart and see if we can get back in and sideboard. That was really weird. It wouldn't let me put them down, and, okay. No, it's like letting me click on other cards and stuff. Like I was clicking and adding and subtracting other things from our sideboard. I played with Fate and tried to drag them out there again, and it worked this time, so, you know, good beats. Bring in Deckenstone to deal with her and the Amp. Well, Deckenstone doesn't hit Planeswalkers, Vanu. It's only creatures. He memory lapsed my deck editor. Yeah, basically. That was brave of me. Listen, I'm just trying to see if I could reproduce the bug on command before reporting it, okay? Arena is convinced I am making a mistake by not boarding in Miscast. Does anybody remember what I was doing? I feel like we were talking about an arena bug, but it seems to slip my mind. If you remember what we were doing, let me know. Yeah, you gotta learn to take naps when they take naps, isn't tough. They sleep in 3-hour shifts, and so do you. A big part of why Christy and I did formula feeding with our kids was so we could take turns sleeping. If you're breastfeeding, unless you're pumping a lot, the mom has to be up every so many hours. It is, yes. You will trust your child to breathe eventually. I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you I jerked awake, freaking out, thinking they weren't breathing at several points when my first two were little. And also happened with Haley too, so it's just a parent thing. Give you an estimate, 5 years. Nah, by the time, like, they're 6 months. By the time they're, like, rolling over and really moving. They're more durable than you think they are. They're more durable than you think they are. Goodbye, friends. At the point where they can get themselves killed on other things, you worry less about them breathing. That is such an apt way to put it. By the time they can get themselves dead in other new and fascinating ways, you will be confident that they can breathe. I'm not gonna do a cube every day this week because the cube content's really just not that popular, unfortunately. We're gonna do a couple more, but not every day. As a father of 2 under 2 years, 4 hours sleep in a row, and I feel you, baby legs. My older two are 15 months apart. So I was living that life for a while. I think we Karn here, and we Karn pre-combat, so they have to decide if they want to counter or flash in a thing. Why is the auto-tapper gonna tap my bigger Blinkmoth chat? Stop it, auto-tapper. Get some help. Okay. Yes, all 3 of my children were intentional. Three for 3, we did this to ourselves. Would I tell you if they weren't? I don't believe in lying. I probably would have just ignored the comment if they weren't. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Strange Journey. That's very generous of you. Even after 2 Charizards, yeah, that's kind of like a demonstration of why Sultai has kind of fallen off, right? Without Uro or a strong Kiri, they just kind of like flub out. Thanks for 11 months, Greaseball. Adoption's a really great thing to be able to do. In fact, one of the things, my wife and I had discussed that too before we decided to have Haley, and honestly, it's kind of fucked up, but one of the things that put us off is adopting's actually really expensive in a lot of instances. The fact that it's so difficult and you have to jump through so many hoops to give a kid a home that needs one is like really, really a big issue with the system. So hats off to everybody that goes through all the things that involve into that and give a kid a better home that needs one. No Darge, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people you can send that to. Thanks for sending it this way this month. Yeah, no joke. We had to request a different nurse at one point with one of our kids because one of them just wouldn't take fuck off as an answer to we're gonna formula feed instead of breastfeed. Just like, this is not your decision. Feel free to go somewhere else. I actually really liked the formats when Field of the Dead was legal. I was actually pretty opposed to banning Field of the Dead every time they've banned Field of the Dead. Are mono white taxes historic viable? Yeah, definitely. I actually think the white taxes decks are actually one of the better things you can do to fight Jessica right now. Thalia, Containment Priest, there's a bunch of good, like, tax-style effects that are good into the best decks. So I actually don't know that Field of the Dead would solve problems the current historic format has. I think when what's it called? When traditional Jeskai control was the best deck in the format, I think Field of the Dead would have been a good tool for pushing it down, but that's not the case anymore, right? Like, I don't think Field of the Dead does much against the combo control decks that are popular at the moment. I think we just Tempered Steel. Do you have a favorite historic deck at the moment? Not really. The types of decks I really like playing are pretty bad in the current format. Like mid-range value decks have a hard time. We played red-white mid-range last week, and it felt okay because it gets to play a bunch of Thalias, but that's still only okay. Chalice. I don't think Chalice really does anything meaningful in this format. There aren't really decks with concentrated one-mana spells that are good. I think that would be a pretty mediocre addition. Oh, Vial. Yeah, Aether Vial's great. 10 out of 10, sign me up for all the Aether Vials. Those are a big difference between those two. Chat Fiend and Dermy, thanks for the follows. And Trench Canary, thanks for the 7 months. Good morning, good morning. Rowanus is such a good card. It's so good against us. Definitely gonna want some Deccan Stones post-board in this matchup. They're choked on mana a little bit here, which could be our saving grace. If we can stall the board a little bit, Thought Monitor plus Blinkmoths kill them relatively quickly in the air on the back of Tempered Steel. Morning, Sirius. Thanks for the follow. Do I like the Tempered Steel decks? I think they have the tool. I think they check most of the boxes you want to check in this format right now. I think they have powerful linear draws in game 1, and like with this blue splash especially, getting access to Miscast as well as Containment Priest in the post-board games puts you in a good spot against a decent amount of the format. Our opponent appears to have timed out. Sad for them. I mean, this format's in a kind of constant state of power creep, if we're being honest with ourselves. This format's probably been power crept more than any format in Magic's history in its short lifespan. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The best Thoughtseize deck. I mean, you don't have to burn your shillings. I'll probably catch your messages regardless, Strange Journey. I don't really love any of the Thoughtseize decks in this format. I want to try Black-White Shadow at some point. It's been a second since we've tried that, and that one might be okay. Oh, we played a what's it called? We played a deck, we played a Dragon Rage Chandler Grixis deck last week that felt okay. Red-Black Madness. No, I don't think that deck was very good. By the end of it, I'm pretty sure my wrap-up was that it felt pretty mediocre. Yeah, probably Black-White Shadow or like Grixis or Red-Black Dragon Rage Chandler. Something one of my buddies pointed out, Andrew, if you're hanging out in chat, I know you're here sometimes, is the card Discovery Dispersal is kinda great. Discovery Dispersal counts as an instant and a sorcery for Delirium, and Dispersal bounces Serra Emissary back to your opponent's hand. So next time we try a Dragon Rage Chandler deck, we're gonna play that card in it because it seems kind of like Guess. It's like an okay rate cantrip that like also deals with Indomitable Creativity, flooping something out. Yeah, you can always buy the Arena Mastery Pass for, I think it's 3,400 gems, which is like 17 bucks. Any Flash decks that are good right now? I think Temur Flash is fine. You can find it in the fan favorite section on my website. Soul Shatter is good against Emissary. It's fine. I mean, most spot removal and sweepers is fine against Emissary. The reason why Discovery Dispersal is explicitly a nice call out is because it's a card that cantrips for you, which is what a Dragon Rage Chandler deck wants to do, while also being an answer in that matchup. So it's good because of its flexibility. Welcome back, Cirrus. I think if any of these lands were like Blinkmoth, I'd consider keeping this, because like 1-drop into Overseer is pretty good. But I think I just can't keep a 5-lander at 7, even with an okay curve. My deck heard the call for creature lands is like, Jeff, I got you. Calm down. The 6 is so good. What do I put back? So I have to go to 5. It's probably just this, and hope to run some stuff off here. Thanks for the follow, Recipe. And welcome back, Cirrus. I often say people don't quit Magic, they just take breaks, myself included. Another green-white deck potential. I guess it could be Gruul as well. We'll see. Love Shark Beast usually means green-white. Yeah, I bet this Thalia deck's pretty okay. The Thalia aggressive decks seem okay into creativity. Not great, but okay. This is where the magic happens. correct, Winmagus. Alright, if we hit an untapped land, all of our lands are untapped. If we hit a land next turn, we can play a game. Okay. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, lemon on a square. Take my hands, we'll make it, I swear. Do do be do 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 be do 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 do. The first steal was good, the second one must be better, Chip. Crunch. I got him under the old double abyss here. This is pretty close to our nut draw. I mean, I missed my third land on 3. And I didn't have a 1-drop, so like all things considered, this is pretty far from a nut draw. We're halfway there, Vault Skirge in the air. That's a good lyric. Solid lyrical parse. Wow, really surprised they took the Thought Monitor and not the Nettlecyst here. We got the old double chumps. I gain 5. Ewok the Brave. Thank you for the 27 months. I don't know how they come back from this game. I'm gonna like drop this into play now. Back up to 20. I've got Blinkmoth. That's lethal. Blinkmoth's actually a pretty solid draw here. Hey, nice probs. My favorite streamer of mine switched from YouTube gaming from Twitch and said he's done the research and is very sure the future of streaming is going to be on YouTube. Didn't have the heart to remind him that his rent was probably paid by Bezobucks. Well, are you talking about Dr. Lupo, or was it someone else that went to YouTube without... Anybody that's going to YouTube gaming without a fat Google contract is an idiot. I don't know who Dowsey is. Most of the people like Lupo are getting a contract to go to YouTube. So like if YouTube's like, Jeff, we're gonna cut you like $250,000 per year to come to YouTube, I'd be like, yeah, sign me up or whatever. You wanna give me some fat dollary dues to move to your platform? I'll take it, but yeah, all the people like Lupo and Tim the Tap Man that are moving over, they're people that got checks to go there. Yeah, get your bread. Like, I wouldn't take money from Facebook to stream on their platform, but... Well, let's rephrase. I wouldn't take the same amount of money from Facebook to stream on that platform. There's a number that I would stream on Facebook for, but it's significantly higher than the number that I would take to stream on YouTube. I have a dollar amount just like everybody else. My Facebook number is just significantly more than my YouTube number. This is a better nut draw. Not really. We don't have a 2 and now they have a Thalia. Yes, that's exactly it. Like if you were to go to somewhere like YouTube, like my YouTube channel isn't as big as my Twitch channel, but like it already has I think we're close to 30,000 subs on YouTube. So if you're one of my almost 69,000 Twitch followers and you're not subbed to the YouTube channel, go click the button for me. Appreciate you. I don't think I want to deck this. I think I'm just passing. We are 49 followers away from 69,000 here on Twitch. How is Mixer as a streaming platform? It's dead. It's now defunct. It no longer exists. It's dead, Jim. Bedhern, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. You follow me on Parlor. Well, if you follow someone with my title there, I would let you know that that's not me. Remenups and Master Jedi, thanks for the follows. We just like cast a flying creature, right? Then we have this in Blinkmoth Nexus. Yes, Mixer's the one that gave Shroud and Ninja piles of money and then ceased to exist. Magic's really easy when my opponent never has a third land, chat. What was in the opponent's hand? 3 mana spells. So, I've actually been approached by other streaming companies before that have offered me contracts to jump from Twitch, and almost all of those contracts have non-disclosure agreements about the amount of money that they pay you to move. Because remember, all of these big companies are anti-consumer, anti-employee, whatever you want to call it. And by locking people out of discussing what amount of money they're getting, it gives them more power to screw other people in the future. Anti-people. Anti-anything that isn't pro-profits, etc. Dan Bear Pig, thanks for the follow. Oh no, chat. We have mistakenly acquired a number with this deck, which probably means we're going to start queuing into Jeskai. How do you determine the number of creature lands you should play? Always play more creature lands. It's not even just strictly how many creature lands you play, such however how many utility lands. Do you have to sign an NDA to talk to them about moving? Yeah, generally. Generally, that's how it works. It's like, I technically can't discuss the company I turned down, even what company it was. I can just say one of the other major streaming platforms that wasn't YouTube has offered me money to move in the past, and I told them no. I could potentially be sued if I told you which one. Redbeard, thanks for the prime. I appreciate the 17 months. Welcome back. Let's get all of our friends out here. I am not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice. If you have a question about your NDA, please pay someone who's smarter than me. Main deck Containment Priest, chat. What a healthy and reasonable format. I am a lawyer, and this is legal advice. NDAs are fun, says Mighty Glacier. Can I sue you? Because that's not true. You are spreading falsehoods. Now, this hand that we have here is pretty nutty. Ready to pump up the jam, fam? Yeah, you gain that life, opponent. You let me know how gaining life is working out for you. I want to gain some life too. We done anything with Neoform? I haven't. It just doesn't seem like it's competitive. There's too many memory lapse decks in the format, Australia. I looked at a bunch of lists other people had worked on and pushed around a couple of things in my deck editor, and they just all look terrible. I'm gonna bring in the Deccan Stones on the draw. It's our first time playing Blue-White Steel since Jumpstart. Yes. Hey, Morning King. Thanks for the Prime. Welcome back. Been a pretty decent set. What do we want to play after this deck? Should we do some deck voting? I have 3 decks in my deck editor that may or may not be reasonable or dumpster fires. Oh, yeah, we played Red, White, Steel. It's our first time playing Blue, White. Thought Monitors actually felt pretty good. It's been better than I was expecting. I haven't played against a single Lightning Helix in almost 90 minutes. It's great. Dare I say fun. It's fun. Is that the word? What is fun? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Here comes the steam vents. Sequencing. Play some Brawl decks next. So today, chat. Oh, I forgot, chat. Today's a special day. It's an anniversary, chat. Do you know what today's the anniversary of? 2 fucking weeks since they broke matchmaking. Yay! Magic Arena. What are the odds they can get to 27 next turn? Feels low. Thanks for the entire year, Stalik. Yeah, so this puts them to 22. They attack with these, they go to 24. For those that aren't familiar, Historic Brawl, it was only a playable format because there was deck strength matchmaking involved, so you could play weak, fun decks and still have a good time. And deck strength matchmaking has been broken for 2 weeks now. Not only did they break deck strength matchmaking, but they also broke the ability to not repair you into the same people constantly. So if you've noticed you've queued into the same person 2 or 3 times in a row, that's because they broke matchmaking. So that's not in your head. They actually broke that. What's the traditional 2-week anniversary gift? Variety streams? Yeah, so like that, people that looked at my schedule, you'll note I'm only doing about 3 hours of Magic every day this week, and the matchmaking issues are a big part of why I'm doing less Magic. Pithing Needle doesn't do shit in this format, chat. Sorcerous Spyglass has been legal in this format for a while, and it's better than Pithing Needle in a lot of instances, and it doesn't see any play for a reason. I've heard a couple other people talk about Pithing Needle, and I don't understand why they they just just forget Sorcerous Spyglass exists. Like, they must have, right? Card's not gonna do anything. This is sorcery speed, so we can put them above 27 for a second here. Hey, 1778ers, thanks for the entire year. Welcome back. There are a bunch of sweet designs in Midnight Hunt. In general, you are always welcome to talk about spoilers in my chat, even encouraged, but I personally will mostly wait to give opinions on things so we get a full spoiler. A lot of the cards in Midnight Hunt are obviously very standard focused, and it's hard to give accurate predictions on power level of standard focused cards when we don't know a lot of the cards in the set still. All right, so I think I Tempered Steel and just attack with everything to try and get their life total as low as possible here, right? And then we'll play Vault Skirge post-combat, because I really don't want them to be able to make an Angel next turn. So this gains them 2, this gains them 6. And then they can put 1/1 counters on here. To set a low bar, the way Arena has implemented Phyrexian mana is better than the way Magic Online has implemented Phyrexian mana. Untapped Land's actually a good draw here, because it lets me do this now. Lets me cast this and fire up a Blinkmoth. Let's get the jam pumped up here. I didn't actually count anything before I made this attack. I'm just assuming they can't kill me on the backswing when I gain 5. Creature lands are so good, chat. Blinkmoth Nexus is a big part of what makes this archetype playable. Hey, look, we finally played against the Lightning Helix and we beat it. I wonder if that's what their red splash was for. I guess they had Rip Apart too. Well, they played Showdown also. Yeah, good call. Forgot about that one. This deck was like super reasonable. I feel like of the new cards, Nettlecyst was probably the weakest, and it still felt pretty okay. Thought Monitor actually felt super decent at multiple points there. We cast it for 1 on a couple of occasions. We cast it for 3 to 4 pretty consistently. Both Treasure Vault and Servo Exhibition were really good at helping decrease the cost of this at key spots. Again, I would just like to put the asterisk / caveat in here that we did not play against Jeskai a single time in that set. We have 4 copies of Miscast and some Containment Priest and some Deccan Stones to offer some counterplay there, but we didn't get to play against the big bad. Our deck felt good against other brews in the format, but is this deck competitively viable? Honestly, just don't know, because we didn't play against any really good meta decks. So take that. Take the result with a grain of salt. I had fun playing this, but this is also the type of deck I typically like to play.